Hello, this is Rebecca Skillen, and we are doing CC Cycle 1, Week 10. I have a very tired tutor in training right here. But she said, I asked her if she wanted to be part of it, and she seemed to be wanting to, and now she looks a little tired. Anyways, we start off our new grammar with
affirmation,
prayer and
affirmation.
all right, sit up. Affirmations.
God loves me and he thinks that I'm amazing. I am kind and I'm an encourager. My mouth is kind with my heart open. Cause what is right, my mind is smart. And I love to learn, I'll do my best.
Does that mean we'll be perfect?
No, unless your best is perfect.
How are we perfected?
God.
God. So are we perfect?
No.
No. All right. So that's how we start our day off. We're already at the table. So what do we do next?
Math.
No, we don't. What do we do?
Geography.
This week was week 10, and we are doing Japan. Wrong map. It's right here.
Oh.
So we did a quick review because one of the songs that I saw from another tutor was combining weeks 9 and 10. It's the end of Tuesday. It's been a long day. We started with China and Japan, Beijing, Mongolia, Yellow Yangtze, rivers flow into the Yellow Sea. And Japan, then we jumped over to Japan and we said Tokyo on top, Kyoto, and between Mount Fuji and the Sea of Japan. So you have 3 dots on the country of Japan, the Japanese island. So we said T for Tokyo. Tokyo's the top dot. T. Tokyo on top. Kyoto, so that's your other city that's noted on Japan. And then the little triangle, which on our maps was really hard to tell if it was a triangle or a dot. But the triangle in the middle is Mount Fuji. So we said, and Tokyo on top, Kyoto, and between Mount Fuji and the Sea of Japan.
I think this is close enough to a triangle that I can get.
Yep, that's pretty close. So then Pacific Ocean is also on our list this week. So I had an inflatable globe, and so it's not inflated anymore.
Oh, where is it?
It's over there. You could go grab the globe from the piano room if you want. So I had an inflatable globe, and I showed them the whole Pacific Ocean if we were looking at a globe versus a map. We talked about on the map, the Pacific Ocean on our maps are on the right and on the left because it wraps itself around. You got it? Okay. So this was fun for them. So we talked about this whole section here is the Pacific Ocean from Japan over to California.
And look, it's sunny time.
Yep. So I'm gonna sit that over there. Also in our geography, because they really wanted to do Would You Rather for review, again, it's working well with them that we do our geography review while we have the maps out. Would I encourage that in younger classes? Probably not. But for my journeymen, they're up for the challenge and they do great. So that was geography. Then what did we do? Math. And what do we do with math?
Usually our agility ladder.
And what did we do this week?
I can't remember.
Well, we got to skip count because it was the squares. And so each person got a square of the agility ladder.
Oh yeah, it did not work out so well.
Yes, this is also the what works, what didn't. It worked out okay. They were kind of confused. I gave them each a square on the agility ladder and we were kind of jumping in and jumping out and jumping in and jumping out. And they were like, Mrs. Skillen, we really like what we've been doing. So they didn't want me changing up their agility ladder.
I did a hopscotch.
So they liked them each having a turn on the agility ladder. So after we only had 5 kids in class today. We missed our 2 other kids that were not with us. Don't say their names. This is YouTube.
Oh.
So we prayed for them at the beginning of class, making sure that they would be healthy and that their family would stay healthy and that they'd get well soon. But so the first 2 times we tried my new little idea. And so then the other 5 times they each got their turn on the agility ladder. While one of my multiple year students who is knows all of this very well and can sing his prepositions while he's doing something else, I had him collect the agility ladder and put it aside, and we went through our whole prepositions, which counted as review. And then we did our throughout to toward. Do you want to do it?
Are we like doing it, or are we just talking about it?
We're just talking about it.
Oh.
Do you want to do it?
No.
Okay.
Can I just sing the history though?
Yes, you can sing the history in just a minute. We moved on to science next. Do you remember?
I think it was science.
Yeah, we did prepositions. Then we did science. I saw this on Love Mrs. C. She changed the order a little bit. So linear, oval, and lobed are LOL. And then the last one she arranged just a little bit, so it stands for so not cool. So that's your scale-like, your needle-like, and your cleft. Yep, right there. So we did linear, oval, lobed, scale-like, needle-like, cleft, linear, oval, lobed, scale-like, needle-like, cleft. Said that a few times. You know, what are some parts of a, what are some leaf shapes? And then we went over it. We did our, there's your pointer. We did our timeline a few times. Timeline's up there. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You're even out of the picture right now.
Oh.
So, we went over our timeline, sang it a couple times, went through the cards, and then we moved over to, we did Latin next, didn't we? I don't remember.
Yeah, we did.
But we did do Latin. I have some cards that help them with pronunciation, so that's what we did today. We sang it in a cappella, and then we sang it with the app after reviewing it once, so we got our 7 times in. And then we went to our history. We talked about the connections of timeline was going over Japan. You know, our first timeline fact was Japan's Heian period, and then we went to history. And what did you guys do for history? Do you remember?
I did this.
Come over here, so you're in the picture.
I did this. Can you play this?
Around 794, Japan's emperors moved to Heian, present-day Kyoto. The Heian period ended in the 12th century. The Civil War gave control to military commanders called shoguns.
In the feudal
Little system where knights like samurai.
No, called
samurai.
No, I did this for samurai. Samurai.
Protected wealthy landowners.
And I did this for grass.
So they got to do their own interpretive dance to the song today. After that, we did science, hands-on science. What was hands-on science, Mabel?
My least favorite thing.
You're not in the picture.
I don't want to say it.
We did the dissection of owl pellets, and even those who were a little squeamish at the beginning of the science experience were breaking open their pellets and finding the skulls.
My skull broke. Like literally, I could not find my skull. I'm like, Mommy, I don't think I have a skull.
But it was a lot of fun. They did great. And then they had fun trying to see where we had a paper that had some of the different bone parts, and they all had a skull. They were inspecting their skull and seeing, was it a rodent or a shrew or a bird? Did you have a bird?
I guess I did.
I know.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't because mine had teeth.
Oh, because yours had teeth. You're right. You didn't have a bird. Somebody had a bird.
I had a live land animal or fish. Probably a land animal.
A land animal, I'm sure. One of the kids had the magnifying glass out and was looking at the teeth of what was inside his owl pellet, and he made the assumption that because the teeth were flat, he's like, I think this was an herbivore or an omnivore because the teeth were flat. They weren't for chomping meat. So I thought that was really neat how they were figuring some of that out. Yes, Mabel?
I don't understand because leaves and plants are crunchy. Why don't they get chomping teeth for crunchy leaves?
It's a good question. We can look that up this week.
Let's look that up.
Okay.
Thinking brain.
All right, so after science, we moved into the rhythm section of the tin whistle and the fine arts. They had a lot of fun in this. I encourage you, if you have a kid who has done the cycles before and understands what's going on. I had one kid, he was like, oh. And because I don't even remember which question I asked. I think I might have just started talking about the bar lines and that it's called a measure. And he raised his hand and he pretty much, in his own words, covered the naming section of week 10 tin whistle. And I just let him go with it. So he taught the class. He probably didn't even realize it, but he taught the class. We did a little bit of review of drawing a staff, drawing the treble clef, and then we talked about looking at the music that they had, what was next. They noticed the sharps, so we put the sharps on my whiteboard to make the measure, and then, there's some numbers there. So we talked about 4/4, and that in 4/4 time, you get 4 beats per measure. And so that measure is whatever's between the bar lines, that's your measure. We had some fun with whole notes and quarter notes and half notes and eighth notes.
Can I say what I did?
Yes, what did you do?
So
Speak loudly.
I tried to make an actual song rhythm of Swan Lake, but now that I said it in my brain, you know how I did E, D, 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 E?
Because you were trying to actually put note names, we were just doing rhythm.
Yeah, I was trying to do da, 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 and I did da, 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 and so making my way up, I went da, and then down.
So I had them fold their paper. I had just an 8.5 by 11. I had them fold their paper in half because some of them did make some other measures. But initially we just kind of went through the first measure and everybody created their own measure. And then we clapped it. So here's my measure. Mabel, can you clap it with me? Ready, 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they had some fun measures that they came up with. Some of them, when they threw in a handful of eighth notes, it was a lot of work.
It was like
1 and 2 and 3, 4. There were a couple fun ones. So then we practiced our song, our tin whistle song, and everybody got an opportunity to play by themselves if they wanted to. You did too. And then it was review. And what did we do for review? But you need to be in the picture.
Would you rather?
And do you guys like that game?
Yeah, but can I tell them what we did for review?
Well, tell me first, how did we play Would You Rather with review questions? We had already done geography, so we didn't have to do geography. And you'd already done prepositions.
I'm telling you.
So we didn't have to do prepositions.
I'm telling them.
Okay, go for it.
So we took a handful of 2 subjects in both hands. Then we did this. One's behind them, one's behind the other. Then they just read that, put it down, and it was so fun because
we have beanbag chairs in our room
that we borrow.
We're allowed to.
And
so each person had a beanbag chair.
If you know like those like scooter things that like look like platforms and then they have the like handles on them with wheels under them, we technically did that, except it was a lot of work because, well, they didn't have any wheels on them. But it was still very fun.
So I had a stack of 7 or so cards, pretty much subject by subject, of the review questions. And so we did a stack of review, and then we asked a would you rather question. And they each had a beanbag chair, and so they had to take their beanbag chair to either side, and that's where they sat. So we went through that, and then if they got through all the review questions and we still had time left over, then they just got to answer would you rather questions and run to either side of the room. So today was a really great day. A lot of what worked and not a lot of what didn't. They prefer their time on the agility ladder to themselves. So I've got that mental note for next time. And I know that they love would you rather. So we will probably be incorporating that at maybe these last 2 weeks of class before the end of the year. And then I'll probably add some other stuff, but I have a feeling we're going to see would you rather even more in the next semester. I hope you have a great week. And for my class, see you next week. Remember to practice your history sentences for our Christmas program. Bye.